All right, good evening, Facebook friends, YouTube. The mic is hot once again. I'm DJ Thomas, my main man, big time over there. We're on a new format. We coming at you live each week to talk about those Atlanta Falcons. No matter what happens in the ATL, baby, we're gonna be right here to recover it. Got a lot of questions ready for you. Big time, my main man, then gave me a list of questions to ask you guys. So y'all sit back, call a friend to tell a friend the mic is hot right now. We on YouTube. We on Facebook. We Facebook Live. You out there, guys? If you see the show, comment. We're going to bring you up live. We're going to put you right there where you see the Falcons 2021 season prediction. We're going to put your prediction up there. We're going to put your information up there. If you see us, we want to hear from you. We want you to go live with us. We're interactive, baby. This ain't all. Next time we get on, we're going to be taking you guys live from the telephone. We're going to let you call in and give us the show. Right now, we didn't get a chance to get out early. Get out early and give you guys an opportunity to know that we were coming up. But hey, we're here. It was last minute. So this is kind of a trial run on this new prediction. This is the Atlanta Falcons season prediction 2020-2021. Big time. How you doing, my man?
Hey, how you doing? Great, 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 D. I'm glad to be on the hot mic tonight, man. Oh, baby, it's a new season, a new format, and a new beginning for what we're trying to do here on the hot mic. The mic is hot. I'm glad to be on again.
Yeah, man. I love it, man. I love it. So what you been doing all year long during the COVID, man? How you been shut down?
Oh, man, it's been hard, man. It's been hard, but I've been trying to make it through, trying to do all the right things, you know what I mean? Stay safe, stay sane, and stay sanitized, man. And it's been good. I haven't missed a whole bunch of activity and in form of my lifestyle, but I definitely been also in tune with the Atlanta sports as I always am and always will be.
Awesome, buddy. Awesome, buddy. Hey, look, man, we love this new format, and let me turn this down a little bit because I might be getting a little feedback. We love Atlanta Falcons, folks, and as much as we're going to talk tonight and what we're going to talk about, you might hear some things you don't like. But there also you're going to see some things you do like. There's some controversy going on with the Falcons. We got a new coach this year. We got a new GM, but we got the same quarterback. Hey, big time, going to have a little bit to say about that, but we're going to talk about it. Well, I always say we're going to talk about it. I'm DJ Thomas. I'm Thomas, and that's big time. So big time. I also want to remind you guys throughout the year, we're going to have more people online. I got a couple other people, because of the short notice, they wasn't able to be on with us tonight, but we're going to have more people on the mic is hot, and we're going to talk about those. Also a little bit about the NFL and what's going on in the NFL and what's big and what's going on around. Ain't that right, big time?
Oh, yes, we are, man. We're just so excited about what we're trying to do here and what we're going to do this season. This 2021 season in Atlanta sports is going to be very, very exciting, and I'm very, very eager to be a part of this format that you've put together, and I'm a part of. It's just so much that we can do here, man. I think the fans are going to really like what we have, and once we become more, active with them, we're going to be able to bring more people in and be able to broadcast on a lot more forums. As you will report the number of forums that we are going to be showing on and be heard on, and you know the deal on it. Go forward.
Right. Well, I just want to tell the people out there, they probably see my background. I got a lot of Falcon stuff on the wall back there. You see my what do you call it, larynx you put around your neck. I was a sideline photographer for the Falcons for over 20 years. I've been there with the Falcons. I traveled throughout the league. I didn't work for the Falcons, but I worked for a media agency through the Falcons. So we traveled to a lot of teams and we did a lot of coverage, a lot of locker room interviews and stuff like that. So I got a little first-time interview. Old football coach myself, and big time. I'll let you tell a little bit about yourself. I know big time is probably you have to watch his prediction because they call him the Black Jimmy the Greek because he's right most of the time, more times than not. So when they get that what do you call it, the lottery here at sports betting in Georgia, we're gonna be listening to big time so we can actually win us some money, y'all. You know what I'm
saying? Well, I don't know about all of that. I'm pretty active in my predictions. How right I be, I guess, is to the eye of the beholder. I will say this: I'm pretty adamant about what I believe in. I don't mind being wrong, and it's always just a call that we all have an opinion about.
Well, big time. Tell me about your process. How do you determine who you think is going to win the ball game? I think you tell me this all the time. You had to sit down and tell the people what's your process of doing your prediction.
Well, I really take it seriously, first of all, and I go into to my office, and
Oh,
I
the lab,
pull
right?
from, yeah, I define it as the lab. You know what I
Right.
mean? It's almost like a scientist, almost like you know what I mean, a doctor, and those that gather information. It's in line with what I do on a regular basis. But when it comes to trying to come to a conclusion as to what I think is going to happen in a season and a game, I follow and look at a lot of research. I hear a lot of folks, and I put a lot of data together, and I come up with my own belief based on what the data and the other folks say that's experts in the field. I don't take no one um, information source and rely totally on it. The final decision as to what I come up with is going to be mine, because I do have some experience and a lot of experience on sports. I played basketball. I didn't never play college level. Didn't play pro. So I just put those things together to try to come up with what I believe will happen. I will say I have been right, and that's just my own assessment of myself more than I've been wrong.
Okay.
It's not much different, but I think I do feel a sense of joy to make a prediction for
Uh-huh.
to myself, and it proves to be right. No money involved, nobody to prove nothing to. It's all about having fun, man.
It's all about having fun. I think your term you always use is just what you always tell me is just good, happy, healthy conversation.
Healthy conversation. That's all it
Yeah.
is. D and I, we've always, since the day we met, we've always had one thing in common among many, was that we love sports.
Right.
And we love, even greater than that, we love our Atlanta, city of Atlanta, state of Georgia, sports teams.
Hmm.
Bottom line, here, no doubt, we love other teams as well. But because we live here, what I mean, we study these guys, we know these guys. You have had a direct connection with them through your line of work, through your personal experiences. I couldn't do nothing but take information from you and from what my knowledge and being around you to say it has enhanced my game and my
Uh-huh.
knowledge and my love for the game. Literally, man, without any doubt.
Okay, but hey, listen, we want to get this thing popping. I mean, we got people out there. I don't know if everybody's listening. I know people are going through. I can kind of see the numbers of people actually picking it up and looking and trying to see what's going on. So we want to give them what they come here for, the 2021 season prediction for the Atlanta Falcons. We got a few questions out there. We got a few things we're going to talk about. We want the people of Atlanta to know. We want this to be a place that they go each week. Right now, we don't have a date, but what we're going to do in the future, I'm going to go ahead and put a banner up on YouTube and Facebook to let you guys know if you're interested in the Falcons talk and you want to be a part of the talk, to what day we're going to be live, and you guys can go on and give us your input. The first thing we want to do, let me go back to my list here. I got a list of stuff here. I think you said, let's see here. It was a question about Matt. Oh yeah, okay. First thing we're gonna jump on, I guess your boy the blood the boiling is your quarterback Matt Ryan, your MVP. So first thing, Ed, we want to talk a little bit about it, and I'm gonna let you talk first because this was one of your questions you put up. Your MVP Matt Ryan, how stable is he, and what do you guys say about Matt Ryan for this upcoming season?
Well, let me put it in the order that I said it to you. It's all a part of that same question you asked. Um, um, but th- I can only go by what Matt has done in this preseason
Mhm.
for what I can predict on what will happen this year. Yeah, I know what he's done in the past. That got to be taken into consideration. But for what I have seen in the preseason, ladies and gentlemen, it hasn't been anything. I haven't seen nothing on the field. I haven't been to any of the practices. I only saw a lot of clips, saw some live practices online.
Uh-huh.
But from what I've seen there, I can only judge it in the context of practice.
Right.
You know what
So
I mean?
what
And so
are you impressed with what you've seen so far this year? I mean, last year we know what happened with Matt Ryan last year and and Atlanta Falcons. So you telling me, are you impressed with what you seen this year? Do you think Matt Ryan gonna be ready
what a
for the
body language,
opening game?
if I can answer that question this way from what I've seen again in the clips and in what I saw, his body language, meaning his interaction with the players, and to keep in mind that the Falcons have a lot of new players.
Mm-hmm.
So his interaction with the new players as well as the team in general,
Right.
his interactions with the coach, and the way he has been calling plays on the side, on the field, and getting guys in position. I would say yes, I like that. I have been impressed by that. But here's what I will also add. Because this man haven't been in the league for this is his 14th year.
Uh-huh.
This man is a professional. He know how to get in practice and know how to interact with fellow players.
Uh-huh.
I'm not surprised by that. He's never been a guy that went out and said crazy things and did crazy things. And so when I look at that, I'm not surprised by what I saw in the clips. But to answer your question, yes, I am impressed with what I've seen in that. I really have been. Maybe I would have saw more if for example, they had the NFL thing that they have with Dallas. For
Right.
example, what was you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
If they had that in there, maybe we'll see a little bit more. But answer your question again, going back to that, I have been impressed of what I saw. I would have loved to have seen him in live game in some of these preseason games.
Right.
And that was a coach's decision that I don't agree with.
And it's a must. And I mean, I understand your opinion and based on what you saw, and I can say that too, based on what I saw, but what we didn't get a chance to see a lot. We didn't get a chance to see Matt Ryan pretty much any. They went to Miami and they practiced, they scrimmaged with Miami. But my opinion is there's a difference between preseason and regular season. There's a difference between being game ready, getting your reps down and ready to play. Because the pressure you get in preseason, nobody hits the quarterback. Even the ball game, they hit the quarterback, but it's nothing like being in a regular ball game. And I hear something that really bothers me. A lot of people are saying in the media, well, if you don't want Matt Ryan to go out there and get hurt, well, guess what, folks? If he go out there and get hurt in preseason, what's going to happen when the regular season starts? Because the regular season is going to be a lot more physical than what you see in the preseason. So we need to see, if you ask me, my opinion is Matt Ryan needs to get his timing down. He needs to get his timing down. And folks, I want to give my disclaimer right now. For those of you out there think that I might have might not like the Falcons, trust me, folks, I'm a Falcon fan, big Falcons fan. Like I said, 20 years on the sideline, talking to the players and being there. And also when I come home, I sit down, I have a spread laid out for the Falcon game, whether it's home or away. So yeah, I'm number one. But my concern is I want these guys to win. And if I see something that I think is preventing them from being a winning team, I'm going to talk about it, and we're going to talk about it because I want your opinion as well. I want you guys to send me. I want you guys to chat with me right now. Let me click it up on the screen so you know what I'm talking about. I want you guys to chat. Hey, chat now. You go on your screen, go to the right-hand corner, send in your comments. I want your comments. And when you give me your comments, we'll feed on your comments and reply back to you on those things. So it's all about you. This show is not just for me and Big Time talking right here. I want you guys to send me your comment so we can say, hey, you know what? I agree with that or I disagree with that. This is about the Atlanta Falcons and the people, the Falcon fans out there. We want you guys to send us your comment now. Now, call a friend, tell a friend. This is the 2021 Falcon season prediction show. We're going to talk about it. We got probably about another 45 minutes or so. We're going to be on here. We're going to be in your ear about those Atlanta Falcons. Because you know what? A lot of people see this. This is on YouTube. This is on Facebook. And you can actually, if you got your own page, you can copy it, put it on your own page. Big Time. His thing is he likes Matt Ryan. I don't have a problem with Matt Ryan. A lot of people say, well, I got a problem. You don't like Matt Ryan. No, I don't have a problem with it, but I recognize his weaknesses. And I realize that one thing that happened during the draft this year that really disappointed me and a lot of fans of Atlanta, that why did we not pick up a backup quarterback? Matt Ryan's been in this league a long time. We don't know if he's going to play the whole season. That was one of my questions too. We don't know if he's going to make it to the whole season. But the fact is, if Matt Ryan goes down, depending on how good or bad he is, this season is done. We have nobody. What are the Falcons going to do? So I'm not impressed with the new coaching staff right now. I mean, I could be wrong. They haven't showed us anything yet. It's preseason. I've been listening to some of the comments, the coaches, what do you call it, comments after the game or pregame, whatever. But I can't wait till they hit that field. I can't wait till they get on the field and I can see for myself, see what's going to happen. Jalen Hurts with the Eagles. I'm hearing different things about he's going to be starting this year. He's just gotten in that field. Matt Ryan's been in this season for years. But I'm not going to jump on that right now. We're going to go to our next question and let you guys.
Well, let me add a little bit more to what you just said, D. And we'll jump into the next question.
You got to talk to me, man.
Yeah. But see, here's the thing. Can you hear me?
You do when you're on the phone.
Well. Listen, I want to keep it civil because there's a lot that there's a lot of unknowns, people, going into this season. We can offer our opinion, but we going on what we have seen. There is no doubt that D and I and many other fans like us have been disappointed as to how this new coaches handle this quarterback as well as key players on this team. I can understand the coach evaluating young talent. Young talent is very important because it's going to be a backup player that's going to have to come up and play. But you mean to tell me, Arthur Smith, that you got a veteran quarterback that has pretty much a new team around him, from running back to receivers to the defense, and you did not play your key guys not one down or one rep in the game?
That makes no sense in the world.
Oh my goodness. And I can say, okay, I'm gonna give you that, coach. If you're gonna say the other guys, we don't really need to do more than what they need to do. But you got a quarterback that got to get his timing down with his receivers. You got a quarterback that got to get your play calling timing down. You got a quarterback that got to understand the ins and outs of how you're going to flow with the flow of this team. And you showed us none of that in the regular season game. I am very disappointed. Having said that, I can kind of see how they went with not picking a backup quarterback in the draft.
I can't see it. I can't see it, man. Go ahead.
Well, you got to understand this. Matt Ryan, D, was going to play regardless of who they picked up. He was going to play.
We understand that. We know Matt Ryan's going to play. We know they got too much money tied up in Matt Ryan that he's not going anywhere. But Eddie, listen, man, we know that. But at the same time, are we preparing for the future of the Falcons? I mean, look, New Orleans knew Drew Brees time was almost up. They went out and got a backup quarterback to try to get him ready. If he wasn't going to be able to start this year, they would have picked someone else. They got two quarterbacks. They got two pieces. Let's put it away. Two pieces. Hopefully, they can put together something that can make up what Drew Brees left off when he left the team. We got to start at some point in time putting a program together. We got to get a quarterback. We got to get a quarterback to back up. I would say for this year and maybe next year, Matt Ryan still might be there. I'm not hating on it. I just want him to perform. I just want to see this team win. And I'm making it clear, man. And a lot of people look out there and say, well, you hate on the fact. I don't hate on this team. I love this team, man. But whatever it takes, I don't hate on Julio Jones being gone. If Julio has to be gone, that's fine. I mean, his career with Matt Ryan is pretty much done. He wanted to leave, and hey, so be it. But I'm hoping, I'm hoping that Matt Ryan, one thing that I see that's going to happen in the new season, there's going to be a difference than Julio being on the field and being on the field and off the field, because when Julio's on the field, we know that he draws a double team. You got guys in the secondary, people coming up, and Matt Ryan has an opportunity to find an open receiver a little bit easier. Now it's going to be a little more difficult. Ridley's not going to be double team. I tell you that. I'm telling you that right now. You can watch. Maybe late in the season, if you start catching a lot of passes, the new cat, they're expecting a lot from the new, what's the guy named, the tight end?
Kyle Pitts.
Kyle Pitts. Yeah, they're expecting a lot from Kyle Pitts. We're gonna see what happened with that. That's why I'm so excited to see what happened this season, man. We just don't know, man.
Yeah, well, Cap, and the number 2 receiver, a guy named Cage. I don't remember his first name right now, but Cage has been projected to be the second, the number 2 receiver. Well, based on you're right. I agree with you that Calvin Ridley is more than likely is going to be double teamed. The second and third and tight end receivers are going to have to be what Matt Ryan going to have to rely on a lot this year. But it leads to this question, having what they have done. Do you believe, second question, do you believe that the Atlanta Falcons need to go get a legitimate, ladies and gentlemen, I say it again, a legitimate backup number 2 quarterback? I asked that question of you, D. I'm gonna let you lead the way with that.
Okay, that's the question you're asking. Do the
Yeah,
Falcons
I'm
need to get a
asking
more
you. That
backup quarterback?
was one of the questions,
Maybe,
and I'm
maybe
asking it to
Cam
you.
Newton.
I'm asking you. Should the Falcons go pick a Cam Newton? Should they go pick
Yes.
a?
No, well, I'm not gonna say Cam Newton. We know, and I'm gonna say this, and I've been saying it over and over and over again, but I'm saying it right now on the mic because I want people to hear this. I want people to go back and hear it. I know even after the show is over, there's some people gonna flip over and they're gonna hear this thing. And I'm gonna remind people as the show go on throughout the season. I said this in the beginning of the season. The Falcons need a reliable backup quarterback. There's several quarterbacks that have been cut. You got Cam Newton, and there's several other quarterbacks out there. The two quarterbacks we have right now.
Nick Foles, the former quarterback for the new Philadelphia Eagles that won the Super Bowl 2 or 3 years ago, a couple of years ago. There are a few, but keep in mind, D, and I'll let you finish your point, but I want to interject.
I'm gonna show you something. I'm gonna show you something.
Keep in mind, the Falcons don't have a lot of money. Oh my goodness. Okay.
I'm gonna show you something.
Okay.
Look at quarterback position right here. Matt Ryan. Look at the number 2 guy on the depth chart. Felipe Franks and Joshua Rose. They didn't. I mean, what do you mean? You're gonna put 2 number 2s? Come on, man. Come on. You got a number 2 and number 3. Now, I looked at this. I didn't make a mistake. They was right here together. Maybe they meant for Joshua Rose, what Rose did to be number 3, but. To me, that's kind of confusing, man. I don't understand that, man. That's kind of stuff I'm seeing with the Falcons right now.
Well, see, one of the things the Falcons wanted AJ McCarron to be the backup. They brought him in to be the backup to Matt Ryan. This is a guy that had been in the league for a couple of years, and he had bounced around with a couple of teams. Well, unfortunately, even though he didn't show a lot in the preseason, he got hurt, and they were forced to rely on trying to see if Filippo Franks could move up to number 2. Even though that was a long shot to have a guy who was undrafted to be your number 2 starter, and essentially he was a rookie. Well, they were forced in that position because of the injury to AJ McCarron. Right. Well, they went out and picked up this kid, Josh Roseland. And here's the thing. It was too late in the preseason, if you will, and he hadn't had no practice with the Falcons. So right now, if Matt Ryan went out in 2 weeks from now, or three weeks from now and get hurt, they will be in still of a jam to have a quarterback who really don't know the system. Okay. And here's another thing. The Falcons don't have a lot of – the Falcons couldn't sign probably Cam Newton if they wanted to, D. You know why? Cam Newton going to want a certain amount of money, and the Falcons can't afford him.
Well,
the Falcons can't afford a Nick Foles. I have no doubt in my mind, D, that Cam Newton is going to have a job for this year's out, and I won't be a bit surprised if he doesn't be starting somewhere. You know what I mean? But I don't want him with the Falcons. I really don't want him with the Falcons. And I want to hear your response to what I just said, but then I'm going to respond to you as to why I don't want him. Do you want him as a Falcon?
Hold on a second. I got someone trying to come in. I need to make sure I can see their video.
Okay.
Go ahead. Yeah, I want him to come in. I mean, I want it doesn't matter if it's Cam Newton or not. But the problem with Cam Newton coming to Atlanta, if he's the backup, Cam don't want to, he like you said, he don't want more money. But Cam ain't coming here for no backup job. If Cam come to Atlanta, he gonna realize he gonna see the faults that we see in Matt Ryan, and he gonna try to show up. And one of the biggest problems I have with the Falcons, they don't want anybody to show up Matt Ryan. They don't want anybody to show him up. So I'm saying it ain't gonna happen with Cam Newton. But I mean, they need to get somebody.
Well, see, that's the very reason I wouldn't want him here. Now let me touch on that, what you said about them not wanting anybody to put pressure on Matt Ryan. I don't agree with that. I believe there is some. I believe you're correct in that belief,
right?
To some degree. Now, but I don't believe it's because they just so in love with Matt Ryan that they don't want nobody to come in and take his place. I think it could be a part of the fact that this man is a still what, a 60 to 70, $80 million guy? There's no way you can bring anybody in here and have Matt Ryan sitting on the bench unless he's healthy. I mean, hurt.
Yeah.
He has to be, and I ain't talking about a sprain here and he might play, he's questionable. If Matt Ryan can't get on that field, then Matt Ryan ain't gonna get on that field. That's the only reason you're gonna set him on the bench.
Well, let me ask you this question. Let me ask you this question. If Matt Ryan goes down and Cam Newton's still out there, would you go get Cam Newton then? Would you go get Cam?
Okay, I would still, that's a good question. But I still would be somewhat hesitant about it, D. And I'm gonna tell you why. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna say exactly why. Because he's from Atlanta. He's gonna it's gonna be a controversy here.
Mr. Harp, we're gonna welcome Mr. Harp to the screen. Mr. Harp, my main man. We do the play-by-play on Friday night, and Mr. Harp, you come right in the middle of the question we asking about do the Atlanta Falcons need a more experienced quarterback than Cam Newton? Now you can jump right in there, and Big Time has just expressed why we're talking about Cam Newton. So can you hear me? Can you hear me, Mr. Harp? Hello. I can see you, but I can't hear you.
Well, I heard the hello, but anything you said before that, I could not hear. You sounded like a robot from the early 1980s.
Give me a little volume. You might want to get a little bit closer to the phone. I can barely hear you.
I can hear him good, D.
You can hear him good?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, as long as you can hear him, that's fine. Go ahead with your comments.
He went out.
He went out for a second. Okay, we'll wait till he come back up. I just go ahead.
Listen to what I'm saying. You don't want, if Matt Ryan go down, there's going to be a divide in some respect in this city. Why would I say a divide? Because they're going to be even more angry fans that's going to look at the organization, and say, I told you so. That's another reason why I'm not going down there. I'm not giving you a chance to even try to win. That is already in the play. And with Matt Ryan, and if you bring Cam Newton in here, while it will excite a lot of fans, given Cam's persona, given Cam's way he acts, given Cam being a hometown kid, I don't know whether it would set this organization in the right place to do that. You need someone to come in and settle the team down and ride the ship out for the fact that Matt is going to come back. Let's say, okay, let me throw it this step further. Let's say if Matt is out for the season. He's done for the year.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I was saying.
Okay, if you can afford Cam Newton, I would then say, okay, and if he's willing to accept that role, that he's going to be here just for that year possibly and be gone after the next year, I would consider bringing him because he would have generated some excitement. Yeah, you're right. I would bring Cam. But if Matt Ryan is still able to play in some level of form this year, I just think Cam persona would cause more of a problem to the organization than it would good. You say it would be about wins and losses. Cam is going to do more than just go out there and play football. He's going to potentially exhibit some antics on the sideline. He's going to say things in the media that we probably don't like. Cam is going to be Cam as he has always been in the NFL. Now you say, well, why didn't he do that in New England? Well, New England has a history of not tolerating that type of stuff. We don't know what Atlanta can do. Well, his new coach may not, but we don't have the winning persona that we can allow Cam to say, listen, we got to shut you down. We need the fan would probably, you know what I'm saying? It's a difference. It's a difference with Cam here in Atlanta. This is a hometown kid up to play football, and you know Cam is not going to be a regular football player up here, man. Help me see differently. Explain why you would want him if Matt Ryan went down for the whole year.
Oh, you asked me a question?
Yes.
No, I think that because number one, we need someone that knows football. I mean, these two guys, Josh Rosen and Felipe Franks, we know neither one of those guys is going to be able to come in and carry this team. I think the Falcons know that as well, and I don't know why we're dragging our feet. I listened to the coach today was talking about. I don't know. I seem confused. I think I'm not the only one that's confused on where the Falcons stand with the quarterback situation. I was trying to pull up a clip today when he was talking, but I couldn't find it. and maybe next week I'll have it, so we'll find out a little bit more about what's going on. But no, Cam or not, it doesn't matter. I'm not really stuck on Cam. I know a lot of people in Atlanta would love him because he's a hometown boy. Cam always wanted to be a Falcons, but obviously the Falcons didn't draft him, so he ended up in Carolina. So now he's out there, and this might be an opportunity to pick him up. I don't see a problem with it. I think it'd be a great opportunity. I think it'll help Matt Ryan as well because it'll push him once he see what's going on with the Falcons. It'll push him to be even better. I'm a Falcon fan, and I'm always going to be a Falcon fan. Whatever it takes to get someone in here. We need a backup. We can't sit and wait and saying, well, Matt Ryan's going to be okay. At the age Matt Ryan is, he's not going to be okay. I just think, and someone told me the other day is that Matt Ryan might just go out on an injury for whatever reason if it's not going well, and then go ahead and retire at the end of the year. We don't know what's going to happen, man. The whole season lies on this. There's a lot of people out there upset because Julio's gone. I'm not upset because Julio's gone, but whatever it takes to win, I'm saying.
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you 100%, D. As you were speaking, I was thinking about Cam. It won't happen. There was a conversation about it when he was first released, whether he could come to Atlanta, and the consensus in the community was, of what I was hearing on the radio, that they was not going to get him. There was no way in any way that they would bring him here to Atlanta. But having listened to you, I think it would be a good acquisition if they can afford it. I just don't think they can afford it based on the money, and they'll feel like the money they spent on a player like Cam, they could spend that on a linebacker or offensive lineman, someone that can be more of a benefit to the team. I believe we will don't be surprised if the Falcons don't go pick up another quarterback between now and the first week of the season. If not the first week, the second week. You know what I mean? They're not going to rely totally on Frank is on the practice squad, and deservedly so. And when you look at this guy, Roslin, he has shown some signs in the first preseason game, that he probably can fit in. I just don't think he has had enough time under this new coach's system to even learn the playbook, do some things that the coach would want. So the Falcons, as you just said, and I agree with you 100%, they're in a real critical situation here, given that this quarterback, Matt Ryan, is going into his 14th year. They're walking on thin ice, given this man's inability to run, and they got a very questionable offensive line.
Right.
This is a very dangerous ground this Falcon team is walking on. Unlike you, and Dio said this, don't know how many times tonight, ladies and gentlemen, he is not against the Falcon, nor am I. But we are very, very, very concerned as Falcon fans, like many of you all are, about what we see coming with this Falcon team going into this year. Right. There are too many uncertainties, and everything and most things fall directly and squarely on how well number 2 performs.
That's it. That takes me to my next question, as you see on the screen right now. Will Matt Ryan finish the 2021 season? I mean, do you think he's healthy enough to finish, or do you think he'll finish the season? I mean, it's a lot of things. A lot of things could happen. We got a new coach. Do you think the coach, if he see Matt Ryan not performing, you think he'll make some changes? Will they bring another quarterback in? Will they pick up a valid number 2? And if Matt Ryan's not getting the job done, will they change him out? Will Matt Ryan go down in an injury or something to the effect? Because we know as his age and in the NFL and with the pressure, based on what I saw with the offensive line in the preseason, I know normally the third game of the season, the first string offensive line plays to get their timing down. They play in the preseason game. And based on when Felipe Franks was at quarterback, supposedly that was the starting offensive line. And I heard we need a right offensive guard or something like that. We're not 100% right now. And but do you think Matt Ryan will finish the season?
Well, I believe he can. I mean, I can't say otherwise, except I believe he can because of what he's done in the past. Injuries are always subject to any player at any time, but there are a few players, and most of them are quarterbacks and that have been able to played their entire career with a limited amount of injuries. First on the list is Tom Brady. Drew Brees did it before these last couple of years. Peyton Manning did it. Even Warren Moon did it. History will show time and time again the quarterback position is probably the most protected position on the football field. Having said that, I believe that the Falcons, to add to that, shall I say, I believe that the Falcons would do another thing that will help him stay healthy. They are going to run that ball more often than they have done in the past. Therefore, Matt Ryan will spend less time dropping back in passing and hand that ball off to a quarter or to a running back.
You think
Even
so?
if he drop back or in the shotgun, they're gonna probably allow him to drop a lot of short screen type passes, forcing him or encouraging him to get rid of the ball quicker. I believe Matt Ryan can go through this year, even though he's 38 or 37 or 38 years of age. I believe he can go through this year and remain healthy.
I'm just looking at the offensive depth chart for the Falcons and seeing what we're working with this year. I mean, looking at some of the we got Ridley and we got Hayden Hurst. Ridley's the wide receiver, Hayden Hurst the tight end, Jake Matthews, Josh Anderson, Matt Henson. This guy, the center, he's new, isn't he?
Yes, he is.
Okay.
The offensive line is still in the formation. You got Jake Matthews who's been in the past. You got these two kids that they drafted out of college last year. One of them is projected to be ready to go. The other one had a few injuries, but they, I think, still going to work them in. They just picked up an offensive lineman this week. Everything about what a quarterback and running back can do, and most of your offense, it depends on how unified and well that offensive line play. I think that's going to be a big question for the Falcons. Given the mindset of this coach coming out of the camp or the same offensive style as Shanahan and what he did in Tennessee, I think he's fully aware of the need of having a solid offensive line. Another thing he does appear to have done well in the past and in the preseason, he utilized the tight end. We have 3 tight ends on this team.
Uh-huh.
It has been said that Kyle Pitts is the 3rd tight end on the depth chart, meaning that he may not even play a lot. He's not the first tight end. He's not the second. He's the 3rd one. So that suggests to me he's going to be out there for a lot of short time, quick plays, more blocking than anything else. I like the fact that you use a lot of tight ends to block downfield and set the edges for your running game. And that should also help Matt Ryan to stay upright and healthy. Matt Ryan is not a scrambler. Matt Ryan is not moving around enough to get a lot of injuries on the run. If he gets sacked, most of his sacks occur on the interior of the pocket. And he usually prepared to take the sack with making his body ready to receive it without getting injured. And I think that's a smart thing, even though it hurts his game offensively to have that type of mindset. But I think the Falcons can get through the season with him. And even as they go along, if they feel or see that they can get a nice or better backup quarterback out there, particularly to replace Filippo Frank, because Filippo Frank has to be a practice squad quarterback.
Uh-huh.
He needs just to be an arm, the rest of the arms of the number 1 and 2 quarterback. The guy they picked up, Rosalind, he could be if he showed what he continued to show what he showed in preseason. But I still think the Falcons would serve themselves better to go get a legitimate number 2 quarterback behind Matt Ryan.
Okay. Let's try again. I think Harp's online. Let's see, can I bring him in, and let's see if he's still there. Harp, you there? Can you hear me? Harp, you live on the show. Are you there? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you. We were talking about Matt Ryan. Will he finish the season? Well, see what your take is on that so far. Oh, you got any takes on Matt Ryan right now? We're going to change the subject, but right now we were kind of hitting back on Matt Ryan. Is should the Falcons bring in a legitimate backup quarterback, and will Matt Ryan finish the season? Also, what's your take on Matt Ryan?
Will Matt Ryan finish this season? I say yes because he's really not a quarterback that's been so injury prone per se. And then that's one, and then two, if he does get injured, where are you going to go? There's more of a controversial quarterback situation in the number two spot than there is for one with the Atlanta Falcons.
I
I
can't
even
hardly hear
hear the
you. I can't
scuttlebutt
hardly.
saying
Can you talk
that
a little bit
Cam
louder? I can hardly barely hear you.
it would be a bigger
I can
I
hear. I can hear well.
or
Then
Okay.
his signal. Maybe his signal is he is in a bad signal.
Yeah, I think he's getting a bad signal. Harper, if you can hear me, call me on the phone. We can bring you up through the phone, buddy. Just call me
Yeah,
on the phone.
yeah.
Okay.
Because I like to
Well,
hear his take on. I like to hear his take. We speaking in the same arena with our. We agreeing in the same area. He answered the question similar to what I said about Matt Ryan's health. He has shown a propensity to stay healthy. He's a savvy quarterback. You got to look at it, man. Can you hear me, D?
yeah, I hear you. I hear you.
You looking at a quarterback. Let's think about this, Dennis. You a coach. You're a sideline photographer. You're a
Right.
man of knowledge.
Uh-huh.
You look at a quarterback, have been in the league for 13 years.
Right, right.
Let the gentleman, now, well, let me set the stage quickly. It's gonna be quick. 13 years, ladies and gentlemen. This man missed 3 games. In 13 years, he missed 3 games. If that ain't doable, I don't know what is. My father time win every time. But there's a person called Tom Brady that's going on 44 years old.
But Tom
And he
Brady's
still
defying that. Tom Brady's defying the father time. Tom Brady, I don't know why I don't know why you put Matt Ryan in the same conversation with father time.
these
Matt Ryan
13, three
time is
games
up.
in 13 years. Think about that, D.
Uh-huh.
D. That means every snap for 13 years, he has been the one to take it for the Falcons. The Falcons ain't went in and put other guys in the game when we were leading. We never lead games in such a way we can just put a quarterback in to finish the game off. And our coaches that we've had have never been thinking like that. So that means Matt Ryan has been playing every down on offense for 13 years. Forgive me, ladies and gentlemen, from streaming, but just let that sizzle in your spirit. 3 games in 13 years. This man this man is smart, people.
We got to get off Matt Ryan. We riding too long on Matt Ryan. He don't take most of my time up. Let me jump over here to ask this question right here, man. We know we're dealing with. He's been in the league a long time, and you this is how you feel about him. You feel like that's your boy, and he's an MVP, but that's yet to be seen. I'm not going to use the whole show today. We're going to get on Matt Ryan again as the season go on, but I promise you, and let me get myself. I promise you, and I promise the people of Atlanta, when this season starts, and when things happen the way that I'm predicting, well, not predicting, the way that I see them happening right now, I'm going to remind you and remind Atlanta to go back and watch that prediction show and see that I told you. I've seen some little things with the coaching staff, with how they're handling things. From day one when we went to that draft and we did not get a quarterback. Hey, everybody got a fair shot. Everybody got a fair shot. I want to see. I could be totally wrong. I'm gonna use one of your terms. I'm okay with being wrong. I'm okay with being wrong. But I want to be wrong. I want the Falcons to win. Because when I sit down, I'm like you, man. When the Falcons lose, I have a bad day on that Sunday. It's a bad day for me. So I want to see them win. That way we can have a good day. And the next day, Monday, we get all this good talk about how well the Falcons did. But listen, let's jump over here. What do you think? Who do you think will win the game between the Falcons and the Eagles? Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts gonna be starting for the Eagles. Do you think? What do you think? You think? What do you think about that game?
I think the Falcons
right now. We'll talk about it later. But what do you think about that game?
I think the Falcons can win that game.
Why?
And I tell you why. From what I've heard and what I've read and what I've seen, the Eagles are in total rebuild, and they are not going to be a very good team this year. Okay. Number two, the Falcons, because they have hid a lot of what they're capable of doing, I think it was a part of the design of the coach not to show anything of what he could in the preseason. No coach does it, but I think this guy was seriously wanting to be a element of surprise coming into the league. And the Eagles are going to get the surprise of what Atlanta going to bring. I think Atlanta will win that game going away. It'll be ugly early going, but I think Atlanta should win that game going away. What you think?
Well, I really can't give you. Well, we'll get on that when I get to the when we get to the team part. But right now, I see the Falcons having a problem with the defense. I don't see if our defense is sharp right now. I don't see it. Um, I don't see the defenses playing well together. I watched them in the preseason. I know a lot of you guys trying to make the team, but when it first starts out, they usually play the starters for the first couple of rounds. That's something I still got a problem with. I still got a problem. And I know you had your say on how you feel about it, but I got a problem when you don't play your starters. I got teams out there playing their starters for almost
a lot of teams, but a lot of teams didn't play their starters. Tampa Bay didn't play their starters. I mean, you could say they're Super Bowl champs, but I understand that. But here's the thing: you got to take into consideration. The defense is a good statement you made about what the Falcons can do in that first game. But because the Eagles are starting a guy who has not, Jalen Hurts, from what I'm hearing in Philly, did not have a good preseason. There's so much concern about Jalen Hurts that they are considering starting the backup. The Eagles, in fact, went out and picked up a veteran quarterback in the early part of the preseason. And that sent a message to what they thought about Jalen Hurts.
Uh-huh.
And I think the Falcons defense of what I saw, and defense did play the more the starters on the Falcons team on the Falcons started the defense starters opposed to the offense. And what I saw of the defense of the Falcons, it was a little bit better than what the offense showed. No doubt. So I think Atlanta can win that game.
Okay. I'm trying to pull up something here on the line I can show you. Go ahead and
what's the next one?
Well, that's it, I think. I mean, unless we start going to the prediction, we can actually go to prediction.
Yeah, let's go to prediction. Because that's one I got for a win. What do you think on that one?
Okay. Give me 1 second. Go ahead and tell me a little bit more. Let me get this pulled up.
Okay, yeah. So when I looked at the Falcon defense, one of the main concerns, if anything can improve by the Falcons this year, I think it will be the defense. People, you might be surprised how well the Falcons defense played this year. Don't be, because they have shown some nice signs. One concern I still have about the defense, though, is where we going to get pressure on the opposing quarterback. We got to be able to put that quarterback on the other team down. We got to be able to do it. What I have seen in Dante Fowler has not impressed me, even though he was not a lot in the preseason. He had COVID early on, and in the last game, he didn't play a lot. But if you don't have two edge rushers, even if you have one that's good, he's probably going to be double teamed. So the Falcons got to really, really, really come up with something that they can allow the quarterback to be rushed. We ranked last in the league, or not last, close to last couple of years by not having a pass rusher.
Uh-huh.
And even though the new defensive coordinator going create a lot of mix and matches, he's going to create we're going to do a lot of blitzing. There's going to be a lot of gambling going on with this defense, and there's going to be a lot of plays where we're going to get burnt and we're going to get busted open because we're going to have to take risks getting after the quarterback. It's really going to be a test for them. But I still like what I've seen in the defense. We got some nice defensive players. You know what I mean? We got a Grady Jarrett in the interior. We have Debo in the middle linebacker. We got a nice linebacker crew, and we got a number of linebackers, which is always good. And we got a nice cornerback in AJ Terrell.
Right.
My concern lie with the safety. My concern lie with the other corner, and my concern lie with, as I said earlier, pass rusher. We're going to have to see it develop. I think we are going to be better defensively.
Okay. All right. So we'll go ahead and jump in that prediction thing, and then we're gonna start running down the teams on the scoreboard. Like I said, you want to give a thing or not? I kind of go back and when it's all over and done, we're gonna see what kind of season you think the Falcons come up with. I know you said earlier, but we always do this every year. I want to remind the listeners out there that every year we go out and we have a prediction show, and right before the first game of the season, we want to talk about the teams that we think will win, and we'll go back and look and see how well we predicted each team. Starting the season off, I think you said already, the Philadelphia game on Sunday, September the 12th, the Falcons at 1:00 on the Falcons will play the Philadelphia Eagles. And how you say, what do you say about that game?
I think we'll win that game.
Let's see.
The Eagles are in rebuild. The Eagles have no quarterback. They have a quarterback concern. Jalen Hurts may come out and hurt us with his scrambling ability, but I just think the Falcons, if their offense can run the ball and keep it simple, I think we'll have a chance to beat this team.
Okay. I think they'll lose the game. I think Jalen Hurts coming into the ball game. I think he's going to be a little more prepared than the Falcons feel about it right now. This game, this is an important game for the Falcons. It's the first game of the season. Even though it's going to be here in the Mercedes-Benz Stadium, I just don't think we're ready defensive wise. I think you said differently. I think you said you like the defense and what you see with the defense, but I don't think that defense is ready right now. I think the Falcons is going to have to tighten the defense. I know in the preseason people are missing plays. I mean, again, I'm gonna just call like I see it. Defenses have to work together. They have to work together more than others. When you got cornerbacks and safeties, those guys got to be at the right place at the right times. Okay, so I just don't see that right now. Number two, we going to Tampa. That's a 4 p.m. ball game.
Well, a loss. We can just keep moving on that. That's a loss.
A loss. You don't have to say how much about the Super Bowl champs, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, even though Tom Brady didn't practice.
That's a loss. That's a loss on every sense of the word. Let's move to the next one.
Okay. Number three, Sunday, September 26th, the Falcons play at New York, the New York Giants.
Win. New York Giants in total rebuild. They're gonna start a rookie quarterback. The third quarterback that came out, they had the second quarterback pick, which wasn't the kid that went to they had the second or third pick. They started a rookie quarterback. They're in total rebuild. It's gonna be a road game, and it could be a tricky game. But here's the thing: I'm gonna continue to pound on, ladies and gentlemen. Carefully watch this Falcon running game. If we can establish a decent and consistent running game, and our defense can hold up better than it has in the past, which I just said I believe we will, we can stay in these games like on the road in New York. We can stay in these games. And we have enough experience in the persons of Matt Ryan, enough experience with the tight end Hayden Hurst. We got enough experience with the receiver and in the defensive positions that we should be able to beat a New York Jets team. Is it the Jets or the Giants?
Giants. We got Jets coming. We're talking about the Giants right now. We're talking about number three.
Well, we should be able to beat them. Same thing. They're in the same rebuild.
Woulda. I mean, I agree with you on that.
Wait a minute. Did you say the Jets or the Giants that we playing game to?
The Giants, New York Giants.
Oh, the Giants. Oh, I thought you said the Jets. Oh, I was back off that then. I was talking about the ladies and gentlemen, forgive me. I was talking about the speaking of the New York Jets. I picked the Giants as a loss.
You picked the Giants as a loss.
Yeah, and I'll tell you why. Because the Giants have always, and I believe they still do, have a pretty decent defense. Okay? Keep in mind, they just picked up a decent running back two to 3 years ago, and they got a quarterback, Tyler Murray. Is it? They got a decent quarterback.
Right. Kyler Murray, yeah.
Kyler Murray. Yeah. This team right here, and these guys, this is they second or third year in the league, so they should be coming into their own. If they get the right, oh man, that's a loss. There is no way we're gonna go outside in New York on outside. It could be
It
windy,
ain't cold yet.
raining.
It's still in September, so it's not gonna be cold. I can see it.
Man, it could be anything. We don't play well outside, man, and we don't do well. We don't do well against a team that has a decent front four. I just
Okay,
don't
all
think
right.
we get that one. I'll be glad, but I just don't see us getting it.
All right, I give us a win on that one. I don't know, man. I think going to New York and this time of year, I don't think they're ready yet. We both kind of struggling, but I think we'll probably win that ball game.
Okay.
Number 4, Sunday, October the 3rd, we'll play Washington. The Washington, what is it? Washington, what they call them? Football team here in Atlanta, Georgia, at 1 p.m. on Fox. What do you feel about that one?
I say a loss. And I tell you
don't
what.
have a whole lot to offer. I'm gonna put that down as a win.
Well, let me back up. I'll put it a win. I'm gonna give a win.
But don't do it because I did it.
No, I got to think. I got to thinking about it because you're right. They don't have a decent team. They still sort of in there. They got a controversy. They don't have a solid quarterback thing there. And Atlanta at home. Even if we haven't played well in the first 3 games, and maybe we got one win out of that first game, I would say we ought to come out on that Sunday at home and edge out a victory over this Washington team. Hello?
I'm here.
Okay. Next game.
I'm chatting. I'm tweeting and chatting. What do you want to call it? What team was that? Number 4.
We're on Washington. That's both.
Yeah, I gave that a win. All right, now we're going to the team you said before on Sunday, October 10th. The Jets come here to Atlanta. Actually, no, I take that back. This is the team that's going to be over in England somewhere. We're going out of the country, so this game's going to be out of the country. So 9:30 a.m. game. What do you think about that one?
I think a win. Even though it's going to be over kind of a neutral field and a lot of conditions are going to be played here, I still think Atlanta is a better ball club than this club because they are too much in the rebuilding mode.
Right.
You just cannot go with a rookie quarterback and think that they could come out and he can have a good enough game to edge this and out, being this the environment of being overseas and so forth and so on. But I just don't think that Atlanta will lose this game.
Okay.
Oh, let's go to the next.
I agree with you on that one. I said
let's move it along.
All right, we got week 6. It's going to be a bye week. Nothing going on that weekend. Week 7 is going to be Sunday, October 24th. We're going to go back to Miami where we played our preseason game. Where your boy Matt Ryan said he did. That's what he learned. He got good at. So you think we'll win that game in Miami?
Loss.
No?
Loss.
Why?
Again?
Earlier you said something about Tula. So now you're telling me
Well,
the job
but listen. They picked up a backup quarterback that's decent. And well, no, they did not pick up a backup quarterback. By that week, they may have picked up, because of what I'm reading and hearing, is that this court thing with Deshaun Watson may be settled by then. And this man might be, because once it gets settled, and I know his people are working hard, I don't know a time limit, a frame, but it said it's moving fast, that once this man get clear, and he's going to beat this, more likely than not, he's going to be back on that field. So here we are, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks.
Deshaun Watson.
So as we speak today, there's still 2 months before that game against Atlanta.
Right. Okay.
You're talking 8 weeks. Don't be surprised to see Deshaun Watson on that field. Even if he's not there, I think their defense and their experience is enough that they can beat Atlanta. Okay. They came out even when we were playing them in the preseason, which don't mean anything. I saw where they were moving the ball and doing certain things. They didn't look like a team that Atlanta can really. I just think that we can lose. Now, if you took that same game for me and put it in Atlanta, I might give Atlanta the edge. But I see there's a loss from where I sit.
Okay. So moving on down the schedule, we got Sunday, October the 31st. Actually, Atlanta goes to Carolina. That's a 1:00 ball game.
Win.
That's a loss for me. You want to know why?
Tell me.
I mean, man, Carolina is coming along, man. I think they're gonna be a little better team this year. I'm even looking at the depth chart from the depth chart now. Now I know it reflects what happened last year, but we got some work to do. And Carolina's always been a simple. Well, teams in our division has always been a rival. I think the Falcons are going to be struggling this year to be at least third in the division. Some people think that they'll be second in the division over New Orleans, but I think it's going to be pretty tough to beat New Orleans this year as well. As long as you got Sean Payton there, I think it's going to be tough. I like some of the decisions he's making there in New Orleans.
Well,
Speaking of New Orleans,
hey, let me back up on my decision on that one. Since you said that, and I was thinking as you were speaking, I'm going to give that a loss based on the things you said. Not just because you said it, but it made me think. That's a road game. Don't matter who they have on the field, there's always going to be a difficult and a hard-fought game for Atlanta.
Right.
Just as well as it will be for them. And I picked that to be a loss because we don't know who their quarterback is going to be and where they are, but I think they'll be ready more than we think they are.
Right. All right. Speaking of New Orleans, Sunday, November the 9th, getting a little cool.
So that's the game after the Carolina game?
Yeah, right after Carolina, we go Sunday. That's the schedule right in front of you. See the schedule?
Well, I got it up. I can't see it as well because of the size of my screen, but
I can zoom in a little bit more if you need to. Can you see it okay?
Not real well. I'm gonna go by as you called it, but I picked it as a loss.
Okay, the New Orleans game on November 2nd, November the 7th, you said it's a loss.
Yeah.
Lord have mercy. Them boys ain't doing too good. All right. On Sunday, November the 14th, your boys back in town. Somebody calling them boys with Dak Prescott. The Falcons travel to Dallas at 1 p.m. ball game. Win or loss?
Loss.
Man, you have no love. Dak just getting back, man. So what's your reason for not picking the Falcons on that one?
Well, I think Dallas is a more established team. They got a running game in Ezekiel Elliott. They're going to keep it simple. And the Atlanta defense could easily be beat up by then, if not totally, but key players. And I think Dak Prescott is going to do better unless and that gives them enough weeks that he can come back and be in the form. Right. And another thing, I think Dan Quinn is going to have that defense in such a mind frame that he's going to show them, if not before the game, as the game go along, how to stop Matt Ryan. I believe he's going to do that.
Wow. Okay. And that was I have that as a loss as well. The 18th, Thursday, November 18th, that's a Thursday night ball game. Well, we didn't have too many of those. They played the New England Patriots here. We haven't had that many Patriots games here, I remember, in the last 10 years. But the New England Patriots come to Atlanta. That's going to be an 8:20 Thursday night ball game on Fox, prime time. How do you feel about that one?
I'm gonna give us a win on that one. I'm gonna give us a win. I'm gonna tell you why. You got a rookie quarterback in there, man. And I think the New England Patriots is going to be a surprise team this year that they're going to be, and it could come back to bite them, seriously bite them for getting rid of Cam Newton, because you got a rookie quarterback who is behind center. Rookie quarterbacks are more prone to get injured, and if not that, they're very likely not to play well. Now you say Bill Belichick and all of the persona around New England, yeah, I get that. And I don't know what their defense is going to be like. But you talking about Atlanta here in Atlanta, who has never beaten this team, and they don't have a Tom Brady. And if we are playing well enough to have even lost the game that we lost, but we still got things intact, we haven't just lost our composure or had a serious injury by somebody, I think the Falcons can win that game.
I'll tell you what, it's two teams, one in college and one in NFL, I usually don't bet against, whatever reason. One in college, that's Nick Saban. And the NFL, that's what's the boy name?
Tom Brady.
No, the coach.
Oh, Bill Belichick.
Bill Belichick. I'm not betting against Bill Belichick. He got the quarterback from Alabama. What's his name again?
Pat Jones.
Matt Jones.
Yeah, Matt Jones. Yeah,
Matt Jones. Right. They got Matt Jones. So I think by this time we more than halfway through the schedule. I think by this time he's probably got his timing down a little bit more. And this is a prime time game, of course, on Thursday night. It's hard to say, but I got to go with the New England Patriots on that. I can't see us winning that one.
Okay.
On Sunday, November 28th, we go to Jacksonville.
Win.
Not a whole lot to say about that. We kind of know Jacksonville hasn't changed a lot over the years, so I kind of see it the same way. On Sunday, December the 5th, we take on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers right here in Atlanta, Georgia.
Loss.
Normally, I would have said that the Falcons would get one or two. Normally, throughout the season, we would always say, hey, look, they might can get one. They might can get one or the two, either on the road or at home. And Falcons are always good about it. It's another thing about the Falcons over the years. They've always proven that they win a game they're supposed to lose, and they lose one they're supposed to win. So you never know how that's going to go. So you said it's a loss?
Yes.
Well, I hate to be a copycat, but I agree with you. It's hard to beat Tom Brady, the 40-year-old Tom Brady. Let's see who's after that. On Sunday, December the 12th, we go to Carolina.
But Carolina, shouldn't they come here?
No, the last one they came here.
Oh well.
This time we going to Carolina.
Well, did I give them? I think I gave them a loss, or
did I give them a loss in the first one?
Oh, I thought it was at home. So if I'm gonna give them a win on this one.
The first one was at home.
Well, even though I said, if I said you wrote it down, I'm writing it as well. I thought I wrote a loss, a win, but we're gonna split with them, and even if we lose at home with them, we'll go there and beat them. I agree. I don't see Carolina beating us 2 times.
Right. I agree. I got the same thing. I think Carolina will one of the 2 ball games. I think it's possible we can get the home game and lose the game away. So I did have a loss for the away game, and I'm sorry. Well, the first game was here, and the second was at Carolina. That's on Sunday, December the 12th. The next ball game is Sunday, December 19th. That's San Francisco. That's going to be at San Francisco. What do you think?
Loss.
Lord, man. Why would you say that? Is it 2 words, Shanahan?
Clearly. Well, I'm not necessarily. I just think this history has shown, for whatever reason, and that may not mean anything, but I got to put it out there. They don't play well when they travel out west. We got to win.
It's a 4:00 game too.
Yeah, we got to win. The year after the Super Bowl loss, we went out west and we beat the Rams in a playoff game, and that was a surprise and a virtually upset. We have shown from days back when they had Jerry Rice and even Steve Young, and even in recent years, we haven't shown that we can go out west and beat the 49ers on a 4:00 Sunday evening. Usually be cold outside, here a little chill in the air, as it's going to be this year. I just don't see us winning that game. And Shanahan is very savvy in regular season games when you are at a disadvantage with the travel and other factors that may come into play. Right. He'll win this game.
Okay. Yeah, I get it as a loss as well. I don't think we could go to San Francisco and beat San Francisco. A lot of times we don't play well at 4:00 game as well either. I don't know why. But not only that, it's 2 words it comes to my memory when I think of San Francisco. They number one, they picked up a quarterback too. That second quarterback, and also Shanahan's there, and Shanahan's really good with quarterbacks. And again, I said I see. I hope our defense has gotten better by then. Either our defense has gotten better or teams gotten tape on them and found the weak spots. So, and people like Shanahan will attack that. So I think that's another reason that I think it will be. It's not going to be a very happy day. And
yeah,
I think we beat San Francisco last year. I think.
Yeah, we did. Was it last year before last? But it was a meaningless game.
Right.
I remember we spoke about it. If San Francisco had to win that game, they would have probably won it.
Right.
They always want to win. They may have came in there taking us lightly, and we were playing hard. But I just don't see it happening. Even though you raised a good point that as the season progressed, teams like Atlanta will either play better or play worse, or team would know how to play them better than they have played them early on. And that usually is based on the tapes. And that usually also based on key injuries. And in this year, this might come into the factor. A lot of times there's a new coach and the season done broke open to be a losing season. Sometimes guys don't tend to play as hard. and the Falcons maybe giving Arthur a chance to sort of, get acclimated with his team and not, you know what I mean, not expect a lot from him. I'm
Right,
thinking,
right, right.
you mentioned that, and I'll throw this quickly as we move to the next game. You mentioned that in our conversations about some of the reasons that they didn't allow Arthur wasn't allowing the guys to play in the preseason. Maybe they was giving him the leeway to make that decision. And I wonder why, if Matt capable or willing to go to Arthur and say, Arthur, I really need to get out there a couple of series. And he would have listened to him and put him out there just for that reasoning.
Right, right.
You know what I mean? Being a veteran quarterback and knowing he needed timing and the rep just to even do it in a live game setting, and he didn't do that.
Matt wasn't going to do that because Matt made a statement that he got reps when he played in Miami. He stated in his thing that he thought it was just like he said. I quote, just like last year. We didn't have a preseason last year, so he felt that when he went to Miami and practiced against the team, that's all he needed. Which I disagree. I totally disagree.
Yeah.
I don't think Matt would have went to the coach and said, "Hey, look, I need to be out there for a few possessions." If not for him, for his receivers. So make sure the receivers and he was on the same page.
Yes. Next one.
All right. On Sunday, December the 26th, we played the Detroit Lions right here in Atlanta at 1 p.m. How you feel?
Win.
Yeah, that's a win as well. All right. On Sunday, January the 2nd, we go to Buffalo, New York.
Loss.
Why? I can give you my reason, but I want to hear yours first.
Buffalo is a team that's destined to make the Super Bowl.
They are. That's true.
They are a very good team, and they're all predictions. And a lot of times they have failed, but I don't see no way on this side of the earth that Atlanta will go up there and beat them.
Wow. Okay. And I agree that's going to be a loss. One of the main things I was looking at is, we don't play well in cold weather, and that means you're going to Buffalo, New York in January, on January the 2nd. That's the day after New Year's. That's going to be a cold ball game. Last game of the season is going to be Sunday, January the 9th, and the Falcons play the New Orleans Saints. That's a 1 p.m. ball game. That's going to be here in Atlanta on January 9th.
Loss. And I'll tell you why.
Tell me why.
New Orleans Saints, I believe, this year will be better than Atlanta, probably over what they have been in the past. And I'm saying that even on top of them having a new quarterback without a lead receiver and a sort of a system where they're still coming together. Well, we now in week 17 or 18, and I still think they can beat Atlanta because Atlanta, to me, just still going to be still coming together. Now, lastly, even though all that I just said could come to play, well, we can just throw it all out the window.
Right.
Because both of these teams always play each other tough. But I believe Atlanta cannot beat New Orleans head to head at the current situation with this team. I just don't. And until they prove me otherwise, as long as Sean Payton is on the sideline, I think they can beat Atlanta most of the time.
Yeah, and Sean Payton is a mastermind when it comes to coaches. Like I said earlier, that Sean Payton is even though Drew Brees is gone, I mean, he took a year. I remember when Drew Brees was injured, and they brought in Teddy Bridgewater, and he did a great job maintaining the Saints. I mean, this quarterback not on the position there, and they got two quarterbacks, not one, they got two quarterbacks. So Taysom Hill steps in. I think what Sean's going to do, he's going to bring Taysom Hill on different plays, running plays, because he can play tight end and he can play quarterback. And, so it's. I think it's a great idea what he's doing there, and I don't think we've caught up to that yet. So it's going to be a tough game for us to play. We can win, we should win, but our defense is what I've seen from the defense so far. And based on what I see from the schedule, if what I see is right, it's going to be probably a meaningless ball game. But regardless of that, the Saints do not want to lose to the Falcons. So
it could be. You throw that in. That's a good thing I forgot to mention. Given it's the last game of the year, depending on where each team could be at headed toward the playoff, this could be a meaningful game,
right?
And it could be a meaningless game,
right?
And even either way, if it's a meaningless game, will clubs play their starters? Are they going to be in the position to try to save them for the playoff? Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm sorry to say, I got a 7-win season over here, and that ain't going to get you nowhere near the playoff. So I predict that they're not going to get to the playoff, and New Orleans why this is going to be a very difficult year for them, ladies and gentlemen.
Right.
Given, let's look at the first game already. They're going to have to play their first game, probably the second game, and maybe the third game out of New Orleans. The first game is going to be in Jacksonville against the Green Bay Packers.
Right.
I picked it as a loss already. You know what I mean?
Right.
And you got that situation where they can't practice in their facility, can't play games in their facility. This could be a very dreadful year for the Saints. But I still think Atlanta, may not be as good. And given them, now that I'm thinking about this, I'm saying about them, and God bless and pray for the people and that city. But I just don't think this is going to be a projected good year for them.
Yeah.
It just even with Jameis Winston, it's just a lot of stuff that's going to be going on. They don't have what they've had in the past. I wouldn't be a bit surprised if Kamari, and we're not here to talk about the Saints, but we just came into the conversation. I wouldn't be surprised if Kamari go down this year, or he get missed three or four games. And I say this, people, if Kamari go down, miss 1, 2, or more than that game, you can wipe the Saints off. Jameis Winston or not, they are not going nowhere.
Okay.
And they could be in a rebuilding mode, and Atlanta could be better than them given their play. I just don't know. It's very likely. What do you say?
Well, I agree with you, and basically what we're looking at the schedule. As I heard you call your schedule out, even though we picked different teams, and some team you saw win, and I saw his losses, we both end up with 7 and 11 season for the Falcons. I think you just said you saw 7 wins, and 7 wins is not going to do a whole lot for you. And Falcon fans and people out there listening to the show right now, and those of you who are listening later, we're not saying that, and we're not being hypocritical. We just call it like we see it, and there's a lot of things going on. I'll go back to say what I said earlier this season. It's a lot of new parts with the Atlanta Falcons. First of all, we got new coaches, and coaches got to learn to be able to, and the players got to learn to be on the same page. We got new defensive players and offensive players. We got players got to learn to be on the same page, and I don't see a lot of that happening right now. I didn't see a lot happening in the preseason. So, I mean, unless coach comes out and surprises with something over the last years I've coached football, and I haven't noticed that much of a difference. So I just don't think that we're on the page. I don't think this is our year. Maybe next year, the same time when Shanahan came here the first year, thing was a little rocky until everybody got on the same page and started understanding people a little bit better. For the quarterback position, I think the quarterback need to get his timing down with the receivers, being at the right place, knowing where to throw the ball to and stuff like that. I don't see that happening. I didn't see it happening in the preseason. I just don't think it's going to happen. I don't think it's going to happen. That's why Sean Payton and several other coaches in the NFL was playing some of their starters. What I saw, I'm kind of wrapping up what I saw earlier, what I saw with the offensive line, I know most coaches play most of their offensive linemen to make sure they're on the right page during the preseason against the number 2 quarterback, the backup quarterback or whatever. And from what I saw with Felipe in the ball game, I don't know if Felipe was that bad, but the offensive line was not that good because he wasn't getting the protection he needed to throw the ball, even though Felipe can fall out of the pocket and run or whatever. But it is just, to me, it's just too many moving parts are just not coming together for the Falcons right now. So, I mean, that what pushed me to give the Falcons a 7 and 11 season. If you guys are listening out here, I do want you to, even if the show is off, I want you guys to comment, go to the right side, right bottom of your screen, and give me your prediction. I want to see your prediction because what I'm going to do, I'm going to write these predictions down. If you're not on this show, the next show, I'm going to step up and say, hey, listen, so-and-so said, John said the Falcon will go this number. And if you want to call out certain games or if you want to give me all the games, it doesn't matter. I'll copy and I'll paste it and I'll throw it up on the screen for people to see it, especially if you're right. Because we come to the end of the season, you tell me the Falcons going to win 10 games and lose 7 games, you better believe, buddy, I'm going to make sure that people know that you picked that, okay? So, like I said, this is an interaction show, not just about me and Big Time sitting there talking about the Falcons. We want to know what you guys think. This is for Atlanta. And we're going to be on each week, and I promise you, I'll put a thumbnail up on the website, on the Facebook, so you guys will see and know when we're going to come on the air. And so you can be ready and prepared. Tonight, I apologize, last-minute thing, but next time we'll be more prepared. But you can always go back and listen to the show and listen to what we talked about. Let us know in your text, in your chat, whether you agree or disagree with us. And, hey, it's not wrong. My saying, I always say, right, Big Time, there's no right or wrong opinion. It's just your opinion. Everybody got one. So what you say, Big Time?
We're here to chop it up, ladies and gentlemen. Nobody's being held accountable to what they say. Be respectful of others' opinions, even if you disagree with them. But we're here to have fun. talk about our Atlanta team. We want not only will we be talking about Atlanta, we're going to be talking about the Hawks when they start up, and maybe we'll shoot a little some conversation about the Braves when they get down in October, and see if they can get down in the later parts of the playoff. But going back to the Falcons, I just don't think the Falcons are going to have as good of a season as they may think they'll have themselves. We, Dennis and I, and many others may be wrong, but I don't think we will be. I also say this, lastly, I just want to see the Falcons play good football. If they win games, they win 7 or more games, fine. If they lose 7 or less games, fine as well. I just want you to come out and try to play well, and not the season is over after the first half of the season like we have been in the last 2 seasons. This 1-6, 1-7, 1-8, it is uncalled for if you got a new coach here that's showing us that he can do better things with this offense. Ladies and gentlemen, it was a pleasure to be on the mic with you tonight.
Okay. One more thing before I go. Hold on a second. I want to show you something here. Where'd it go? There it is. There it is, folks. That is our prediction. I picked 7 and 11. Big Time picked 7 and 11. Not in the same order. He picked different teams. Well, we picked some of the same teams, like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and some team like in New England. But we both feel that this season the Falcons will go 7 and 11, and we explain the reason why. And as the season go and predict, I just want to thank you guys for tuning in tonight and watching the show. I don't know how many people listen, so we are live on Facebook and YouTube. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Feel free to share our this podcast with other friends. Anybody you know is a Falcon fan, share it with them. So we invite you guys to come out next week. We hope to have our phone line hooked up. So when you call in, if you're watching this show live and you want to call in and you want to be on this show and give your opinion, we welcome it. So tell a friend to tell a friend. The mic is hot. It's been an hour. It's almost an hour and a half right now. It's getting late in Atlanta, Georgia. It's 10:15. Big Time, I want to thank you so much, my friend. And we're going to do it again next week, right?
Yes, sir, we will. All right.
All right, folks. Enjoy it tonight. From our studios here in Locust Grove, Georgia, the Atlanta Falcons will our prediction for the 2011 season, 7 wins, 11 losses. Big Time choose 7 wins, 11 losses. We love you out there. We'll see you next time on The Mic is Hot.